All right, welcome to Tally Tales, podcast number nine. Number nine. We're not really sure what number this is, but you'll figure it out when you watch it, even if you don't. So we have the fabulous, wonderful Tony Hawk. No, wait. Tony Hawk's mentor. No. The reason the skate parks are in Tallahassee. We have the fabulous Orlando Vazquez with us today, who is who owns Phaze One skate shop in Railroad Square, and we were going to still there. We were going to interview Orly a couple days before the storm, but things happened such that we needed the storm to cleanse some things so we could have more to talk about.
Finally have the time, actually. Also, because, man, that's really the issue in all our lives now, is just even finding any kind of free time to be able to do stuff.
Well, I thought time was an illusion, so how are you going to find it?
Well, in order for me to talk to you in the real world, I need real time. So that's all, Jim.
Well, go fishing, man. Go fishing. So anyway, Orly, I went by Railroad Square as filming the disaster, and
bro, thank God you sent me that in the morning too, because that kind of put me at ease, man. I was, I knew it. I was watching it on. I'm in Quincy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm watching that thing straight in the line. You're like, dude, this is the area, and I saw that, and I'm
Speaking
like,
of Quincy,
my God.
Look behind you.
What's up?
Jules.
What's up with a word?
Jules. Yeah, good old Jules Muck.
Yeah.
Inspiration for the Bella Forever Foundation.
For sure.
Anyway, so I did notice one thing when I was filming in Railroad Square that, I don't even want to bring this energy in because we're not supposed to, but Adam, the asshole who evicted the Bella Forever Foundation from there because we were taking care of the homeless and the addicted people, that wasn't what he wanted there, even though he knew going in we signed the lease. But anyway, the place Akasha and I had been occupying would have been destroyed. So the storm.
Oh my God, G.
Yeah, the storm was okay. Anna Feeling Arts, who was on the couch recently, she lost some of her stuff in her roof, but none of her people's artwork was lost. Okay. Marcelo and Melissa, the shaman, the guy that was next door to the foundation, he's from the streets of Chile, never had a job. She's got a PhD in philosophy. They met on the street selling jewelry, and they were next to us. And some of the pieces in here, including this one, came from them. They make it and find it. She does the macrame, and they got out. In fact, 2 days before the storm. So, and I did see wonderful Mr. Orly. When I went into his shop, Akasha and I went into his shop, check him out. He was on the ladder up in the roof. All his equipment seemed to be intact, like all the good people.
Thank God, yo.
Or let's start out by telling us how I've known you for many years, met you through the birth cottage, actually, through Alice Sanpere. Yeah. And I want to just tell us briefly about how you came to Tallahassee.
In the beginning?
Yeah.
This is funny. Basically, I ended up in Tallahassee first because I had some friends come up to school here, and then because this is the thing with cocaine, basically a friend of ours in Miami, I'm not going to say people's names because last time I'm out here, but basically he owed somebody a lot of money, and I had a job back then, I love it too because when people talk about college, I'm like, dude, college was so cheap back then, I could pay with a week's work. I could pay the whole semester of my books and everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when people talk about it, I seem they forget that. But so he was in trouble. I was luckily working, had money at the time, so I lent him the money. And then, of course, cocaine does things to people and changes and stuff. Yeah. So next thing I know, he's basically missing. And I'm like, hey, man, the reason I gave him the money too was because I saved, because every summer I tried to go to Spain, remember? Yeah. So basically, exactly, man. That was like my thing. Is like I'd always have tried, every summer try to go to Spain for like a month and a half, and then so basically I told him like, this is for you now, but I'm gonna need this at one point because I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So But yeah, he disappeared, and finally a friend of mine found him up in Tallahassee. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Hey man, I see him up here. You know, maybe you should come visit." And I'm like, "Yeah." So whatever, man. I got up here.
Whatever reason, we're glad you made it.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm glad it worked out because let me just say in the end, basically, I came here, I had a great time. People were awesome. People had like real discussions about, you know,
Life.
real things in life, not, you know, because Miami's very superficial and it's like, you know, your life and the Joneses and what do you own and, you know, what's your future going to be. So I love that. When I got up here, everybody kind of like just treated each other with respect and some love, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, ideas can exist, you know, coexist between friends, kind of not how it is now. It seems like people beef over having any kind of difference of opinion. So, you know, I stayed and I told them, actually, it's funny. This is the thing. Like years later, I'm at a wedding and somebody passes me the phone. He's on the phone, you know? I'm like, who's this? He's like, oh, well, you know, he says his name. And I'm like, hey, man, you know what? You know, for years I was pissed because we were friends. More than anything, it was just that's the part that really hurt me, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was really upset because the money's the money. But in the end, it's like, it doesn't matter, man. In the end, it all worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like having this crappy thing. Yeah, exactly, brother. You know,
Because your heart was in the right place.
Yeah,
so you follow that path.
Having you burn me and be a piece of shit, basically,
it was
worked out.
So, how did you get into Phaze One? How did you start?
Well, that's the thing. I grew up in Miami at a great scene in like the late '80s and early '90s of like South Beach when it was when it was really just starting. When it was all graffiti kids and promoters. I mean, and I loved it too because like that time in South Beach, literally, the hardcore kids went to house nights. The house kids went to the hardcore kid shows, man, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It was all these kids in a different style. It could be skinheads, next thing hanging out at a house party dancing. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful thing. So. Yeah, you know, that's pretty much. I'm sorry, I kind of lost track. What I was trying to tell you.
We were talking about how you how you decided to open up a skate shop.
So basically, that's what it was. All those kids, in between all those kids, there was a guy named Don Busweiler, who owned a company called Pervert. That was like probably one of the first it's like streetwear companies for real. Like before, you know.
Pervert?
Pervert was the name of the company. You know what I'm saying? I know. And people take it like too. It's just like, but the idea was. Like, you know, he had a whole idea behind this that basically Pervert was kind of like, you know, it's like, it's a human behavior, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I've known this Pervert old man in Siam Sushi.
There you go, Jim. Yeah. You know, as it's seen differently from other people, you know, or by, you know, it might be negative or whatever, but still, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, but it wasn't like, you know, some kind of sexual, like, overtone type thing.
It takes negative to have positive.
Yeah.
So,
actually, you know, just so you know, like, Pervert and that whole crew was around when, like, Fucked, F-U-C-T, Fresh Jive, and like the guy that later became Obey. It used to be called Andre the Giant Has a Posse when we first started selling that stuff in the early 90s and stuff. You know, and it was like his stuff was basically the sticker of Andre the Giant Has a Posse with this, you know, study phenomenology, which was basically, there was no posse. The idea was like if you were into this, you know what I'm saying, you would notice the sticker and you'd give it some kind of meaning. It didn't really have any kind of anything behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever meaning you gave it when you saw it, you know? So... nothing. And all that streetwear culture, I started bringing up Pervert and like fuck stuff to sell out of the back of my car when I was actually trying to track the guy down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were selling out of the back of your car.
Yeah, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'd bring it up here.
What kind of car?
Back then, brother.
Huh?
Back then, it was a 300ZX that replaced.
Oh yeah, cool.
Check this out, Jim. Though it was the 300ZX to replace
the 280.
No, bro. No. To replace the cabriolet that a jealous girlfriend burned to the ground.
Oh.
But the best thing about that, it all worked out. 'Cause I just saw her years later too, and in Gainesville, I found her. She's. I guess she was shocked to see me. I'm like, hey man, it's all cool about the car. She was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just like that. I gave her the old Miami. Don't even start. Yeah. I know you burned out my car. You know what I'm saying? I told her the only thing I was upset about is I had just bought Fear of a Black Planet. From Public Land. I'm like, and that thing burned inside of it, you know? But I'm like, don't worry, that car was terrible, it was awful. You got rid of it for me. I got a better car. You got your revenge. We're all one. So
it's great when everybody's a winner.
Exactly, Jim.
All right, so you opened up Phaze originally on Gain Street?
Yeah, actually, no. Originally started by like Waccamaw. By the way, let me just say really quick, my friend Andre Prine, he's the guy, the reason that Phaze exists because it was he was like a DJ at the Milk Bar. So he did DJ 360. He's a great DJ, that guy. He's one of my favorite DJs. And so basically, Dre's like, man, you're just crushing it with this stuff, you know? And it was one of those nights that I had probably like, you know, back then it was hip to drink like 40s, remember? So I probably had drank like 2 40s, basically, you know. when my liver was like, yeah, it's okay. My liver was like, nah, not anymore. Yeah. But what's it called? So, you know, he was just like, man, you should open a store. We should get our money and open a store. And it's one of those things like, you know, Jim, just talking out of your ass. You're like, yeah, man, that's awesome. It's a great idea. And then like 2 weeks later, he had signed a lease. And I was like, wait a minute.
This shit's real.
This shit's
Three in
real.
the deep end of the pool.
Yeah, dude. So luckily, we all pulled our money. I think the Phaze started up with like probably $6,000. We all had like $2,000 each, and we threw it in there and pulled in like all the initial clothing because it was so unique. And what was also lucky for me at the time that every kid wore, it's back to that again, by the way, but every kid wore XL. As bagged out as you can get, basically. Rodeo clown, bigger. You know what I'm saying? So basically, yeah, you know, that's basically kept flipping that money. We never had it, luckily, because that's the thing, when people talk about I had to get a loan and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if you're ever going to catch up. That whole thing of having pay interest when you didn't have the money to begin with is a rough one.
It's that side. It's the American way. Buddy.
Yeah, brother, I know. It's a rough one. So luckily we were able to keep putting back into the store, own our own stock, you know what I'm saying? Instead of owing anybody anything. So we got lucky, man. We got lucky.
And when you moved from the original location, you said was in Waccamaw?
Dude, it was in Waccamaw, but the freaking landlord hated the skateboarders, dude. He freaking would call the cops on us all the time and I'd be like, how am I going to pay for anything if you keep arresting kids? That's my favorite too, because half the time they weren't even skating. They were just kids with skateboards.
Right.
And it was just like harass them. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not how it works, buddy.
That's when skateboarding was not a crime.
It was a thing. We had to let them know. Nobody's trying to break anything, you know?
We're trying to keep in shape and, you know, get in the flow.
Yeah. It's just like, that's the thing with skateboarding. I don't know how to explain it because people talk it's a sport. I'm like, it's not a fucking sport. Nobody's trying to...
It's a religion.
It's almost like
a way of life.
Yeah, Jim. It's like more like an expression of art on some kind of urban freaking landscape, I guess is what it would be. If you think about it, it's almost like dance, you know what I'm saying?
You learn to fall before you learn to skate.
Yeah, hopefully. No, some people do. Some people learn that fall, and then that's it. They're like, I'm not doing I'm never falling again. But
my skateboard experience is very limited, but when I was in Athens, Georgia, in my freshman year, my kid that lived on the hall was a huge skateboarder. Stroke. He showed me the ropes, how to do it, you know, how to stop, and then he took me on this hill. And he knew what the fuck he was doing. This hill was vicious.
Yeah.
By the time I got going so far, I was shaking.
Yeah, you got the wobbles, man.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, dude,
but I wiped out, scraped my knee, said, fuck this noise.
Yeah, I'm saying, Jim, I know.
But anyway, so like you just said. So when did you move to Gain Street?
Gain Street, basically, it opened up because I'm telling you, that landlord being such a jerk, you know what I'm saying? I kept going to shows in that area and house. Dude, there were so many like squatted out houses in that area, and it was awesome. And they would have house shows, and a lot of the kids that were like, my friends who were like into art and, you know, had bands and all that stuff lived in that St. Francis area. You remember that big old railroad house?
Oh yeah.
It looked like the house out of the Young Ones. I loved it, man. And literally the kitchen floor was exposed. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to walk across beams and stuff to get to it. Like all kinds of cats living under it. It was amazing, dude.
No rats, though.
No, exactly, you know? So basically I started seeing, you know, there was like a property over there that nobody was doing anything with. I think it was like a seamstress store before that. And I'm just went over there and asked the guy, I'm like, hey, can I rent this place? Because I'm leaving. The family was the Wantons. They got it basically inherited. The guys didn't take care of it. The freaking roof was leaking stuff constantly. It was a constant battle trying to get them to fix anything, you know?
Kind of like Railroad Square, huh?
Sort of, kind of, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, at least the roof isn't leaking yet, thank God, you know? But, yeah, we went to there, you know? And then, like, the pools got it, and they were the same way. They're like, hey, we're going to keep the rent cheap, but don't call us for anything. And I'm like, I'm fine with that, you know?
Do you remember what the rent was originally? Just curious.
I think for years I probably paid like $600, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is like it's affordable. It's the only place in Tallahassee that's still affordable in an area where I need to be because I was totally part of that skate park. So for me not to benefit from it, because now we have 4 the stores that sell skateboards, you know?
Well, tell us about the original skate park over on Messer that you helped. I know you were instrumental.
The OG one? Yeah. Well, that was Dave Wilcox. It was a part of that. Tom Hellman. And just the OG crew, like, you know, Trent Oliver and Tony Walsh, Joey Zimmerman, Brian Caldwell. Let me see if I leave him out. David Main.
David
that whole
Main?
squad. David Main, yeah, man. Actually, we ride bikes a lot. That's like me and Dave. So we're old guys that can't skate anymore. So we ride bikes together a lot.
You know Spencer Wolf?
Yeah, Wolfie. That's another one right there, man. I love that guy.
He's one of the best.
I love that dude.
And he's
a
an old
sweetheart.
geezer still skating.
Oh my God! Yeah, he can still
He's not
skate.
old.
You know, that's another thing. So that crew when I came here, those guys were cool as hell.
Yeah.
Day one with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
But
tell
yeah,
us
brother.
about. I met you at through the birth cottage, actually.
Yeah.
Because Nadia, your wife at the time, and your 2 kids. And I was, we were
That crew.
We were always there together.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot. I've met a lot of wonderful people that I'm still in touch with through you.
I
as a
hope
matter
so,
of
homie.
fact.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
You know
that's-
Caleb's dad.
Yeah. Robbie.
Yeah,
He's a
Robbie.
sweetheart, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie's the reason I live in Quincy because he moved over there. I'm like, how much you pay for this house? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm moving over here too.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
Yeah, I gave him a J.R. Bob Dobbs painting.
yeah,
that
he's all about that.
Jabari
dude.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
took-
he's a bachelor slap.
Yeah, he's all about that. So yeah, that's
So
awesome.
anyway.
Praise Bob.
All right, so tell us a little bit about
up,
your
Jim?
kids.
Oh,
I know the original,
The
Psyche
OG
and
crew.
Judy.
Yeah. Well, Isaac basically.
And tell us what they're doing and how you inspired them through skating and
Dude, I don't know. My
beating
kids,
them and stuff.
Beaten. I was fucking dude. If anything I regret as a parent is the yelling. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of those things. That's just
That
like-
verbal abuse is, I was a victim and
but you know what, Jim?
a
But I don't know how you were about
perpetrator.
it because that wasn't my thing. My old man basically would yell, but my old man never was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry."
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
All
like
man would,
you know,
would hit us.
but that's
and
the
of
thing.
course he would apologize.
Yeah,
I would have to apologize.
So we needed to break that, bro. My dad was in the ass whooper.
You got to
either.
break the cycle. Yeah.
My dad was more the guy like, I disappointed him. That hurt more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Honestly,
they hit you in the
that
heart.
hurt. Yeah, that really hurt me a lot more than like my mom's ass whooping because my mom was the instant like, boom. What? No. Dude. Oh my God. Till this day, being a Cuban Catholic mom and to the true tradition of a Cuban Catholic mom that can never forgive anything because Catholics don't forgive. I'm like, you guys are missing the whole point.
That's it.
You're missing the whole point.
Forgiveness is the key to happiness.
Damn it, Jim. Bro, I'm here warming up right before like a little league game or whatever in the house. I'm like, hey mom, she's on the phone. I don't know what she's talking to and who she's talking to. Like, mom, I gotta get there. We got warm-ups or whatever. She's like, hold on. It's 5 minutes later and I'm still doing these little swings. And all of a sudden, like, hey, mom, and I swing the thing, and it hits this wall. And I just hear, espérate, in Spanish, you know what I'm saying?
Espérate, yeah, wait.
Espérate means wait, basically. She goes over there and basically sees the hole in the wall that I just put with this
Oh,
bat.
my
I'm like,
God.
"Ah." Bro, that was it. It's just a chancleta. You know what chancleta, right? It's like
Oh, yeah.
a rubber sandal. Oh, my God, yo. I got my ass whooped out. When I remember I showed up, I think I played first base for the first 3 innings going... sniffling like, you know what I'm saying, too? It was that hardcore, bro.
My mom used to flash water.
Jesus, Jim. What kills me to this day, you guys, before my mom passed, because unfortunately she passed, you know, till that day, she was just like, remember that time you smashed the fucking wall with the bat because you were upset? I'm like, that's not what fucking happened.
That's interesting. People look at things from their own perspective.
Yeah, forever. I'm like, mom, let that go. Is that what happened? It's like, I gotta swear on the soul of my 3 children to show you how wrong you are about this.
Let's get back to the children. Psyche and Ori. Tell us a little bit about Psyche and Yuri.
Sky, you know, Isaac was born like a fucking man, basically. So Isaac's been handling, you know, stuff, I think, for like, you know, DNC and like campaigning and stuff for like certain, you know, candidates and whatnot. And he's doing good. I mean, you know.
Kennedy, I hope. So
I don't know what to tell you, Jim, because like he's the guy, I think I love that about him too. That's how my kid like, because I told him like, listen, man, you're Spanish. If things get stupid, leave. He's like, who's gonna fight the fight?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you are my kid. And you're definitely your mother's kid because she's Basque and you know she's about, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, he's doing good and Yuri's like 24 and trying to figure it out still be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bella was 24 and a half when she figured out to
sorry.
leave the planet.
I'm
It was her
sorry,
best option. No, she died.
I know,
Only
Jim,
the
I
good
know.
die young. And
I
she
know.
died to wake me up, and this podcast wouldn't be happening without her.
I got you.
Sacrificing her life, and I
you,
still
Bella.
cry every day. But anyway, what about the newest kid?
The little one,
little
Vivi.
one.
She's
He's no longer a baby.
no, I know, man. She's
How
running
old?
the show basically.
How
you know?
old is she?
Vivi's 8. She just turned 8 like last month. So
Whoa.
yeah, man.
Whoa.
And she's brilliant and basically, you know, strong-willed and very Aries, like you know.
Oh yeah. When she turns 9, they'll tell her what's gonna happen. You may.
Is that how it is?
When she turns
that
9,
the
get her to stand on her head so she'll be 6 again.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 6 but anyway, then when she hits the double figures, you're done.
Yeah, for real. I'm out. It's like
You're not out. You'll always be in.
I'm on hiatus. You know what I'm saying? For
You'll
some years
no
until
longer be God. You'll be just some old.
I don't think she thinks I'm God, bro. By the way, I think this girl already figured it out too.
I meant to say dog.
There you go.
I'm dyslexic.
I'm your dog, but I'm not your God. That's for sure. I'm your dog. You know.
So what is
Jimmy?
what are your favorite things about Tallahassee? Your favorite natural spots? Your favorite spots to groove that are
Oh,
like
Jim, I mean,
nature
every
spots?
day is like anytime, like anywhere, like in a national forest, dude, the Munson, and like, this whole area over here, like Phipside and stuff, and, Redbug, Tom Brown. I'm so happy we have all this, And as a guy that left a place with urban sprawl, I worry about what's happening in Tallahassee because, Miami, that's what happened. Miami, they would just go and raise a whole freaking ecosystem and put like a...
Went from avocado plantations to
Yeah, Papa, that
fake
stuff.
sand.
Yeah, that
And
stuff,
fake
and
things,
like
fake people.
citrus, and everything everywhere for Actually, that's how it was, Jim. It's funny you say that, but like I'm thinking even when I was a kid, like my neighborhood was 127th. I think 130 between 127th and 137th, there's basically nothing, and then there was Chrome Avenue, like Miami, where Chrome is, close to like the Everglades out there. So, but now it's all developed, dude. Like the other day, I went to the Everglades when I was down there, when I visited my dad, because that's my whole thing. I'm like, I always try to go back to the parks and give money to the parks and stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, the Everglades all the way out there, maybe until you got to the Miccosukee, reservation, which is basically a casino now. Out there, it's all developed, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't understand who hasn't told these people. I'm like, you guys are in a bedrock of quarry.
Yeah.
The oceans are going up.
Don't worry, Mother Nature will let them know.
I know,
when the
bro,
time
but
is right.
I'm just like, man, honestly.
So how do you see the future of Phase One in Tallahassee?
The
Of your shop, yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, honestly, I keep thinking, because honestly, I'm going to tell you guys, and I tell all my friends, I'm like, I feel like a freaking kook, because I'm like, I'm not skating. You know what I mean? And it's not because I don't want to skate. It's like physically, I just can't skate, especially the way I want to skate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can you tell us about Boards for Bros? I know that you were
Those
responsible
guys?
for that.
No, I'm not responsible. It's my Ryan Clements, but we collaborated. That's the thing I'm saying. That's the beauty of that community. You know what I'm saying? That everybody comes together. Basically.
What exactly is Boards for Bros?
Well, basically, it's providing skateboards and that. And God, equipment, Jim, because that's the thing. It's kind of expensive for like young kids. I know people freak out because you and I are older. Because people, when you tell them $150 for a skateboard, they freak out, and I'm just like, listen, a skateboard's been $150 since the '80s.
Yeah.
So if it's $150 now, 40-something years later, it's cheap. So yeah, man, I don't know. I kind of keep flipping ideas. I'm like, I don't know, hopefully retire and then like maybe make it a co-op. But every time I think about co-op and a bunch of kids running a skate shop, I'm like, that you got me? It's like kids would run that into the ground. You know what I mean? So. But there's a couple homies too that are interested in like carrying it on and taking, because that's the thing. It has to go to the same people that understand. Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? This is community service. Nobody's trying to. Cause, dude, if I don't hear that all the time when somebody's like, I'm gonna build a skate shop and make it, I'm like, you're not making any money, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't really. I do this
You
because
do
I love it.
because you're passionate about it.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Then
because
it's
it
not
helped
really
me.
work.
Exactly, Jim. It helped me
Yeah.
in Miami at a time where you can get in trouble all the time because you know how it was. Latchkey kids in the '80s, man.
Yeah.
You're not, dude, I'm freaking in 5th grade. I'm 10. I get home, I freaking throw the books in, and then until 7 o'clock at night, we're on the streets doing whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So luckily I found that to kind of keep me like, kind of focused. Yeah, man.
Cool.
As opposed to stealing, cars and breaking into people's houses and robbing,
Right.
So that was kind of like, the cruise in Miami when they got into like idle hands. You know what I'm saying? Those guys did some nasty stuff. So, yeah, man. And actually, I'll tell you right now, too, because it's like that thing there, and I always loved it. And I read freaking The Catcher in the Rye. I think there was like a quote in there, like Holden Caulfield was talking about the more money, the more thieves the school had, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. Like, my mom thought, she's like, public school's crazy and this and that. I'm going to put you in private school. I'm like, oh, man, you don't know the level of criminality.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these guys are psychopaths and sociopaths with money. You know what I'm saying? This is not going to be well. This is not going to turn out well for everybody here. But, man, the first time I got up here, my roommate, I knocked him out of St. Louis Mission Park, actually, bombing that hill, going down there.
Yeah. Wow.
And I jumped off my board, and somehow my board came back in and took out his from under him, and, like, he laid out. You guys, it was, like, 91. Oh, my God, I still remember this. And they were like, it was 91 and the EMTs show up, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, hey man, do you know where you are? And he's like, I remember he looks around, he's like, Tallahassee. He goes, and they ask him, he's like, who's the president? He's like, Carter. And then, this is my favorite thing. Right after, he's like, I'm just gonna go home and get sleep this off. I was like, no, dude. No, with the concussion you have, my man, no.
Yeah.
Carter was a great president, by the way. Not one bomb
I
dropped,
know,
not
bro.
one shot fired.
He's the first guy that had to clean up somebody else's mess and then had to pay for all. That guy sins. That's my favorite shit. The people seem to forget. I'm like, especially guys our generation. I'm like, you guys remember what the world was when I came into this shit? It was like Vietnam, fucking Nixon.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh.
Fucking Patty Hearst, Munich. All this fucking shit was happening too. You know what I'm saying? I thought shit was gonna get better. It looked like at the 90s was, and then we're back to like taking it to stupid.
The 90s was the 60s on his head,
Yeah, man.
according to Wavy Gravy, anyway.
Yeah. Wavy Gravy, really?
He said that at a
The philosopher
at
Wavy Gravy.
Yeah. Hugh Romney, the fabulous Wavy Gravy, who I met in Berkeley. He was behind me at the Berkeley Food Co-op when I was buying some avocados, the real small avocados.
I thought you were gonna tell me I was mixing the special ice cream. It's like, that motherfucker stole your plan. That guy stole your plan and sold it to Ben and Jerry's, dude. Damn, Jim.
No, Ben and Jerry were independent thinkers.
Oh man, I know they're pretty good. I mean, I love the stuff that kills me nowadays. I can't have ice cream anymore, but yeah, you know. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You knew Bella from the day she was born. Just what's the first thing that comes to your mind about Bella? Bella's story. I know she was at all your kids.
Sweet, dude. Just sweet.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Sweet. And like, I don't know, man. Bella was always observing, it seemed like to me. You know what I'm saying? At the time.
She's way ahead of her time.
That's what I mean.
And always caring for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
She felt people's pain and went to them and tried to absolve it. But
Jimmy,
I know there were some cool birthday parties stories.
Dude, you kidding me? All of them,
You
man.
remember-
What are you
you
talking
remember
about?
when-
That was like we all looked forward to hanging out on the weekends and
You
stuff.
remember when we caught your ex-wife's hair on fire with the dragon at my farm out in Quincy?
Oh my God,
We
Jim,
made
I don't remember
I
this.
told the story
I
about
don't
the
remember.
dragon
What
had been seen on the loose, and we had this big dragon that we made.
Oh, kind of like a Chinese style dragon?
Yeah. Out of we were thinking about it in the air conditioner vents things. We had
okay.
we had a tail on the shaking on the hat. We had a big head on it, and then we had flash paper running beside it, blowing it out of the mouth. And your wife was part of that, and she ended up, and my brother and his ex-wife, she ended up catching it on
Oh my
fire.
God, dude.
And his kids were screaming bloody murder. You know, when it came out, Lucas was supposed to defend Bella. He was her knight in shining armor.
And he just jetted.
He made a beeline for the house.
I'm out.
And most of the other kids ran around screaming.
I don't have the proper equipment.
I got reprimanded by Cinderper for it being such a violent thing.
Oh my God, dude.
And
please,
it
we're
was a
just trying to have
joke.
fun,
It was
bro.
super fun. And we had bottled that energy that was coming out of those kids at that time. We could possibly solve all the world's problems.
Oh my God, Jim, for
Spray it
sure.
on the White House, spray it on the Pentagon.
God, man. It's
Spray it
always
on
like I
Putin.
got so much hope. Yeah, dude. Spray Jesus, that guy again. It's like somehow is elected again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's doing really good, brother.
He's not that bad a guy at the core. He's an asshole.
KGB, brother. You know what I'm saying?
he's
That
just-
dude's killed people with his hands. I've actually told somebody else to do it. No, he's actually killed people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That guy's a different kind of.
And
He's in a
enjoyed it.
different league. You know what I'm
And
saying?
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He's a winner.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that ultra macho thing.
And
Like
it's-
on steroids.
Right.
But
Times 10.
But NATO pushed him
Turn
too
it down.
far. They made agreements with an asshole and didn't keep him. So what do you expect an asshole to do?
One more time, homie? I'm sorry.
They made agreements with him.
Yeah.
And we didn't keep the
You're
agreement.
saying NATO?
NATO did.
Yeah.
And not infringe on us. And we didn't keep them. And the people
But you
in-
kind of just jumped into Crimea too, so you know what I'm saying? It's just
the
like,
people there wanted to be part of Russia because the asshole Zelensky was putting them in, taking their children away from them because they spoke Russian. That's the only language they ever knew.
Oh,
They
gotcha.
wanted to be part of Russia, and there was a peace treaty. A lot of people don't know that there was a peace treaty signed
Apparently
already.
I don't. I gotta read on it.
And then we came down, and Biden's puppet masters came down and told him, no, we're not going to sign a peace accord. We're going to sell you weapons, which some of the weapons we sold to Ukraine have been sold back to Russia, and some of them have been photographed. Anti-ballistic missiles on the cartel's property in Mexico.
No
So,
shit.
yeah, some weird shit's going on.
Jim, it's been going on forever,
Yeah,
man.
we're trying to keep it positive and uplifting. I didn't mean to bring all that in.
No, it's okay. I mean, that's just
There
the
are
stuff
positive solutions.
It's okay. You kind of need to recognize that these things are happening too, because
So-
you can't not. If you let that shit walk by you, it's gonna
So
continue.
what about Jules? What do you think about Jules McCrock?
What's up?
Jules McCrock. I know she did a.
What about her?
Yeah, I just say something good about her.
I mean,
nothing
she's
but
super
good
cool.
to say about
No,
her.
for
yeah.
sure. She's
She
like
did that mural across the way with the dinosaur
Mm-hmm.
across from Phaze. May have done it for you. I'm not sure.
which one?
The dinosaur on
yeah, like
Main Street.
the fossil of that. Like
Yeah.
dude, it looks like a freaking possum.
Yeah,
Whatever,
she
basically.
said when she was doing it, there was this drunk homeless guy that kept bugging the hell out of her.
Oh,
So
really? One?
She had to get through in a hurry. Yeah, just one this time.
Yeah. Dude, the captain, that motherfucker's out there all the time. I mean, honestly, I'm like, I don't know what you do, but captain's like, the guy's like, life's out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
literally, the dude's in front of Action Auto Repair smoking crack. Last time I rolled by, I'm like, my man. You know what I'm saying? My man. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You know, maybe you have to change at one point, but dude, some people are just so far gone. You know?
Some of these homeless people,
Yeah,
though,
it's sad.
are actually living that life because that's the life they chose to live.
I know.
You know,
but no, and Captain's
they
sake,
weren't thrust into
you
it.
can tell it's a basically, you know what I'm saying? It's like a chemical dependencies to put him on the street, basically,
yeah.
you know? Theo, he's an older black dude. I love Theo too, because Theo.
Well, what do you think about chemical dependency and some of skateboarding is one route to rid yourself of such a horrible, evil monster that's jumped on your back, especially the opioid monster.
But that's the thing, Jim, what you just said there. A lot of kids that I know ended up on opioids because they got hurt and that's what they gave them. They took that and then they came off that and they didn't know what to do. And when, in Tallahassee, it happens a lot. I see there's like a gap between like 18 to 24 of like you either got some kind of plan happening or you're self-sabotaging. You know what I mean? So basically, that's the side of that. Definitely like, you know what I mean? Because like I have depression, and like the way I take care of depression is like, dude, I need to ride 2 hours of bike in the sun. And have these endorphins kick in, Jim.
Yeah, the sun actually has healing properties.
Yes.
Laughter has healing properties.
That's exactly it. What I need every day. That's why I work at a skate shop, dude.
I'm going to bring you some juju fruits. Juju fruits have been used in traditional Chinese medicine.
I love it. He always comes with some fucking
and
crazy fruit. I love this guy and his crazy fruits.
Ayurvedic medicine. Yeah, Ajwain.
Where the fuck did you find this,
They've
Jim?
been used for depression, anxiety, stress, and gut health.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Dude, I'm all about it. I'm on
brain your heart.
I know. I'm on basically Greek yogurt and like kombucha and apple cider vinegar. This is probiotic.
Yeah,
It's happening.
yeah.
Up
Oh,
in
yeah.
here.
You gotta get
it's a
the gut
party
right.
up in here.
You got
Well, they've recently discovered the brain in your gut, but more recently, there's a third brain in your heart. And when you make decisions with that brain, they're always the right decision.
You think so?
Yeah, they have all. They have.
I don't know, Jim. There's
They-
some math that might conflict with that right there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's actually not mathematics. It's close observation with the.
okay,
looking
I feel
deep.
it's true. I
Look-
feel it's
looking
true.
deep.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
oh,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
You know that's what your boy said about Putin, right? He looked into his eyes, remember?
Yeah.
That guy, he saw inside of Putin. I'm like, There's nothing in there, dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's a black hole.
I know, dude. He's like, he's being serious or whatever. I'm like, get the hell out of here. You're going to trust that guy. Get out of here. But, who are you to say, too? Because, like, how many times has this country broke treaties and all kinds of shit? I mean, look at every Native American. Every Native's like, what the fuck
By
are
the
you
way,
talking about, man?
please don't call them Native Americans. They
I
take
just-
offense to that.
A word?
Would you want to be named after the people that stole your land and gave you diseases?
I'm named after the
They're
people that stole the
Cherokees.
land, dude.
Yeah,
You got
I
me?
realize it. But still, they're not Native Americans. They're indigenous people. They're Cherokee. They're Sioux. They're whatever tribe they came from. So
Dude, one of the first
that's
people to fuck up this country was has my last name, Vazquez. So somewhere in that lineage, we're in there. There's Vazquez de Ayala, who's the guy that set up the first one in Georgia before St. Augustine took and stayed.
Oh, really?
And there was a guy in Coronado through Mexico that That's why I always felt like there's some kind of affiliation with me, the Pacific Northwest. Like as soon as I saw that imagery, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like one of these things. I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
We're all connected
Jim,
to everywhere.
like genetically somewhere I got that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, be better this time. Don't be the assholes that went and fucked everything up. Honestly, man, I want to live clean, no blood in my mouth as much as possible, man. I'm trying. Because honestly, man, if I haven't been paying for it for the last 3 freaking months with like business-wise, But it's like that's the cycles of it, you know. I mean, come on, Jim, I got robbed. You know what I'm saying? Like when people are like, "Who robs Phaze?" Like you could always go in there and get a skateboard.
Yeah, right.
Like you know, we always have. That's the same thing. Like you know, talking about boards for bros. Phaze is basically that every day. It's like you can always find spare stuff that we have. We'll put something together and you got some.
Right.
But to come steal it, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, and anytime somebody's, and I've been ripped off a lot, and
yeah, man, it sucks.
it's just, I look at it now as lifting a karmic burden off myself and giving it to somebody else.
I got you.
Obviously
You
needed.
carry this weight now?
And Bella would always say, when Lucas would say, "Why are you hanging out with the trailer park trash?" And they stole the brand new computer.
Oh, I got you.
So telling Bella, they stole a brand new computer your dad bought you. They stole your phone. And Bella just looked at him, and they must have needed it worse than I did.
Yeah.
That was Bella's spirit.
Yeah.
Getting back to Bella.
Yeah, man. Perspective, man, for sure. I'm glad she brought that positivity every time. You know,
Every
what I'm
time.
saying?
The people that when I was in Square Mug, and the people that owned Soul Veggie, the guy whose parents owned it, when he heard Bella had passed, he was emotionally shattered and said, whenever she walked into their place, they loved it because the whole place sparkled and lit up. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
she lobbied to get them to be able to stay at sale with their little lunch truck, the school.
Yeah, because they've been moved around a bunch.
Yeah, but they're gone now.
Yeah, I know.
Not forgotten.
I know.
I ate it the first Soul Veggie. The first time, the second time I saw Bob Marley live in Atlanta, they were right across the street from the Fox Theater, and I went in and I thought, "Ooh, this looks interesting," and became addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff.
Yeah. It's a whole crew, man. Like actually, those guys. My dad used to sell paint to, I guess their church in Miami or wherever it was. You know what I'm saying? I remember. I know it was nice guys.
Your old man sold paint.
Yeah, actually, that was like the family thing for years. They sold.
Were you a
automotive.
graffiti man yourself as a kid?
I wasn't that good, so I never stuck with it. I was more of like the b-boy, like break dancer type of guy in the days of those days. I didn't have the that everybody else had. I'm super critical on top of that of my own stuff. So that was was one of those not my forte basically.
Right. You never know. You may come back around.
Yeah. No. I'm still like, shit, I'm into typography and fonts and all that stuff, design, letter styling and all that. I'm a big fan of all that stuff. I just didn't like the graffiti because it would never come out even. You know what I mean?
So tell
and OCD would be like, oh my God, the E is so much smaller than the end, and it'd probably be like this, or whatever. I could see it, you know what I'm saying?
Imperceivable to anyone but you.
Yeah, but I see it, and then I'm waking up going, can't believe I let that run. You know what I'm saying? In the morning.
That's funny. Yeah. So tell people that are listening, the three people, hopefully a lot of people,
the squad,
that how they can get in touch with Phaze One. Are you still operating now out of Railroad Square?
Basically, I've done it like to the COVID protocol of like, you guys can put your order in and we'll meet you at the skate park. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be in Railroad Square right now when they're doing all the utility and poles. Do you have somebody can go online and look at your inventory right now? No, dude, that's the thing. Dude, I'm the biggest, Phaze One is like the most anti-hero of businesses as far as models. There's no advertising. There's no.
You don't need advertising when you got word of mouth.
There you go. That's my thing. That's what I always understand. When people are like, man, why don't you have the internet and this and that? I'm like, because the thing is, look at all the shops that end up doing that. They overextend.
Yeah.
They're all competing against each other online.
Right.
They all have to undersell each other. And the reality is, dude, it's like skateboards. Like I told you, like people freak out on the. I'm like, bro, we're making maybe 25% or 30% back if we even sell to you at that much, because half the time we sell to our friends and they never pay full price.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's the idea. In skateboarding, you have to sell in volume to be able to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you actually sold some shoes to my nephew from Spain, España.
Yeah, man.
And he ended up playing on Real Madrid. So,
oh my God!
Had you known that, you would have given him a better deal on them.
No. Dude, I'm a Barcelona fan. I'd be like, can't have these.
He's now coaching, but he's 38 or so.
Talk to General Franco, buddy.
My mom and Alice's mom, Alice Sanpereira's mom, were there when Franco.
In the South, in Andalusia? You kidding me? Right?
No, they were up north in the Basque country. My mom's Basque. Yeah.
I didn't know, Jim.
Yeah.
I always forget. For some reason, I always thought Andalusia, Papa.
Yeah, and she would tell me stories if they were in a thing out, the sirens would come over. They would have to run from the building, turn around and look, and the building was just blown up. Yeah.
It's a real
crazy
thing.
shit. Franco was a monster.
I know, and that's the perspective though, because that's on the other side. When you go to Galicia, because he's from that area and stuff,
Yeah.
some of them think he's like the savior to Spain. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm like, the things that he.
Some people think Trump saved America.
That's the thing, bro. But if that's my thing, that's my old man that puts it in perspective years ago. Because my old man's been on that whole side of like I was in Cuba. You know, I was a revolutionary, and then I realized what the hell was going on, and then I was anti-revolutionary, and then I got sent to the U.S., and then I got sent to Santo Domingo to protect the interests of America's fruit companies, basically, and back Trujillo, because Trujillo was the dude back then. But he's the guy, first guy that said is like, how the hell, when they sell you this idea of like, we're gonna help the people, I'm like, yeah, but you're killing people.
Yeah.
I think my old man was the first guy to put that in perspective. I mean, like, you know, all that crap, man, don't believe it and stuff. You're gonna have to answer for all the crap you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And basically, if you do good things, it tends to help everybody else too. So
That's right.
you know? So I'm glad I had that dude, you know. But now, Jim, now that he's 84, he's fucking 10, and I gotta explain everything to him like 4 or 5 times. And man, honestly, if I don't have to be like, dude, do you know the shit that you caused these guys between 15 to 19? It's like, you pay it back now. This is when you eat all this shit, and basically you bullfight your dad. You don't even try to talk to him logically because he's not there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey. And I'm like, because Jim, dude, my old man's like, you guys literally, he's done well for himself. You know what I'm saying? But every time I call him, I'm like, where you at? He's like, I'm at McDonald's. I'm like, motherfucker, you can eat steak and lobster and a bottle of champagne. You want to get whores? You want to start doing cocaine now at 84? You can. Cuz, man, you work for it. Stop living like a fucking refugee dog. You know what I'm saying? But he's similar like me, man. I'm like, if I don't need it, I don't need it, man. I'm good, you know?
Yeah.
So.
My mom was the most thrifty individual.
As well. Man, she got extended, Jim.
We grew up poor, and she would raise 4 children, cut her hair, made her clothes, everything.
I changed you, Jim.
And so I learned to squeeze. You know,
Yeah,
my
bro.
dad was the opposite. He'd spend stuff shit he didn't have.
That's the worst shit, bro, because you obviously got to catch up, Jim.
So I got some of both of them.
A little bit. I like to live it up, but in moderation.
Moderation's the key. So
Yeah, all that balance, man. So we're always trying to find that damn balance in life. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have Dish. It's just the life. I want it for a little bit like this. You know what I mean?
I heard that. Yeah. You have good days and bad days, and
Yeah,
you know,
man.
ride the tide.
Yeah,
Just
Jim.
don't complain about anything.
My favorite one is when I'm telling my kids some shit, and 4 minutes later, I'm doing it.
Your kids emulate your behavior, you know, regardless.
I'll be like, hey, and then next minute, like, did you just tell them about that?
All right, let's wrap this up in a little bit, but give a shout out to your current lady
Austin?
friend.
Yeah, she's the bomb.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And what
for
does she
sure.
do?
She's a nurse.
She's a nurse.
Yeah, she's the right nurse too.
Nurturing
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
We're here in town.
Oh yeah, she's at the healing center. I mean, she was at the healing center for years and stuff, but she works at the wound center now. Yeah, wound center. And
What?
the wound center, bro. Like, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So basically, she's like the one that's looking at everybody's gnarly freaking open sores and
Ooh,
yeah, it's
it's
hardcore
pretty
shit.
disgusting.
But
I had a
she's-
friend Keely that wanted to work on the burn ward, the pediatric burn ward. And I thought, God damn, I'm glad somebody wants to do that.
Shit, Jim.
I could not take that.
Look, somebody's gonna have to be there for him. I get it. You know.
And those people have my heart, man. I tell you what, if you can do something like that, you're
Yeah.
a fabulous human being.
Yeah, man.
You know?
But hey, man, yeah, Austin's awesome. She works at the wound care. She does theta healing too. I'm not sure if you know about theta healing.
Theta healing?
Yeah, theta healing. It's
With the theta brainwaves?
Yes, brother. Yeah, she does that stuff, and her freaking man, I feel bad because she's always wanting to quit because she doesn't like the Western model. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Yeah,
Western model,
right.
I'm like, I have to explain it to people all the time. Like, maybe we shouldn't treat everything as a commodity.
Right.
Maybe some services just need to be done for the citizens of the country and the better of the, the whole community and society at large. You know.
Yeah, well, like Che Guevara's daughter in Cuba is a doctor.
Yeah.
And I heard her speak for about 28 minutes about their medical system versus ours. She never said one bad thing about us, but she did say that instead of the doctors getting support from the pharmaceutical industry for giving out their drugs,
Yes.
that they rewarded their doctors for preventative measures,
Right.
which is obviously the
Gym,
way
which
to
is
go.
Europe too. It's like try to get you off smoking cigarettes. And bro, you're overweight. Maybe taking these pills isn't the way. Maybe you should get back in shape somehow. I know it's hard, you know what I'm saying? But this is just the harsh reality sometimes. Like, you know, because dude, I was like that for a while. Like that typical Miami lifestyle. You know, dude, at one point, you guys. I mean, I'm 150 pounds, but when I got up here, when you guys were like, hey, when you got up here, that I was miserable working and stuff all the time. I weighed like 210 pounds.
Yeah.
Really? I don't remember
Jim.
that.
Of course, because by the time you saw me, I was like normal again skating. You know what I'm saying? It's like when
Okay.
I got back in this working thing of just working and just consuming.
Right.
You know what I mean? And basically, you know, I realized like, hey man, I feel terrible. I'm freaking 19. I'm overweight. You know what I'm saying? So I had AFib, right? For a second, okay? And same thing, you guys. I go see the doctor, and before anything, they're like, we're gonna ablate your nerve, your vagal nerve and stuff. I'm like, wait. It's like, you haven't even fucking asked me when it started or what's going on. Because, you know, here's the other thing, you guys. These guys all wanted to deny that basically when I fell and cracked my rib, you know what I'm saying, that it all started after that. I'm like, so maybe swelling around that area might affect it or something? They're like, I can't do that. I'm like, I have maybe a pinched nerve or something there, because all of a sudden it just started, you know? But nothing. The lady was like an ablation, like, hold on. And then so I went to the other side, because like one's the electrician, the other one's the plumber, and the plumber's like, your hair's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I love that she was just straight, you know?
I broke all my ribs and they didn't
Jim,
even
you
put
know
them
what
back
the fuck,
together
yeah.
right, because they didn't have.
What are they
I
gonna
didn't
do,
have
Jim?
good
They
enough
put a big ace
insurance.
band. Well, shit, but what are they gonna do for that anyway, bro? They just put a big ass ace bandage on it and
But
charge
they-
you 10K. Jim, it's rough. I got it too. I got a couple pulled ones out of here as well from like my skating and stuff back in the day. But it's just like, you know, like she's saying, it's like so many times I want to tell somebody, hey man, maybe half the meds and stuff that you're taking are at the reason that, you know, you have what you have. Maybe you have to get at the source, not the effect part of it. You know what I'm
Thank you
saying?
very much.
So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
thing, you know? She's like, so many people here just straight diet. If their diet was a little better, you know what I'm saying? T?
You are what you eat. People
Yeah.
don't realize that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, for like the last 2 weeks, I've eaten like garbage, and I feel like garbage. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah. I need to get back to the bark life, like, you know, because I don't cook, but the bark, dude, is like what saves my ass every day on that street, because except Mondays.
Yeah. It goes on Mondays, yeah.
Yeah, I love those guys. And man, Sweet Pea, all those guys do great. I mean, this coming from a Cuban, you know, Cubans put like lard in every. I mean, it's in the bread.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So there's a pork product in there somewhere, yo. You know. So
Good old Gordo, our buddy Gordo. You know Gordo.
Eddie, man, Eddie.
Eddie's a great guy.
I haven't seen him, but he's looking great.
He's
and
looking
whatever.
fantastic.
That's great.
Al, I don't know, but he moved out
Al
there.
took off to Colorado
Yeah,
to do his thing.
when he got arrested for
cultivate.
manufacturing. No, I mean, you know, he had $300,000 worth of 6 plants in there.
So, that's what I mean. So do they give him a refund now that these other motherfuckers are making money on something that these guys help push it to? Of course, I love that shit. It's like, for years it was beneficial for us to keep people in jail, so we sent them to jail. Now it's beneficial for us to have stock in this company.
To be the dope dealer.
Exactly, bro. It's insane to me, yo. I know, Jim, and you know that too. It's like, you know how many people sat in jail for years and stuff and you guys are making money off the product. Those guys took the time to fucking get to where it was at.
Yeah.
That it's been the medicine for a lot of people for years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
For 10,000 years or so.
I fucking know,
They
Jim.
found one of the oldest uses of marijuana was in childbirth. Had a woman that died with marijuana they used it for birth.
I'm sure,
in fact,
yeah.
Alice told us that was one of the ways when Sue's water broke before Lucas came out. She said, well, you know, you can walk around rubbing your nipples, some various things to do to induce the thing. And so instead, we went and smoked a big old fatty. That's what she suggested.
To relax?
And then whatever, Lucas smelled it from in there, said, fuck, let me get out, join the party. Hour later, here comes Lucas.
Yo, pass it.
the Duke of, hey, Akasha, here comes Akasha to join us right up here, sweetheart.
Yeah, it's like you guys are just gonna
come on,
bogart this fucking joint.
Come on up on the couch, Akasha. She's gonna go see T-Bird. Oh yeah, and Orly, look at that sweet being, Akasha the Sky Dog, formerly known as
I'm
Peanut.
sorry. She's like coffee breath. I don't like coffee breath as much. Do I
How
smell
you
like
doing,
kitties?
sweetie?
She's like, you traitor, you've been hanging out with your cats.
Look how beautiful.
I love you all,
I gotta
man.
get my scent
Look how
all over
beautiful
you.
this is. Look how
So
beautiful.
the cats get back and they're like, what the fuck, you hanging out with the dog?
She's a cat dog, though.
A word?
This breed is very aloof, and they're known as cat dogs.
Cool, man. Cool. She's
What?
a cutie.
What are you doing,
Glad
sweet
you
love?
got her.
Come here.
That little curly tail.
You want some love? Yeah. You want some love?
My man.
She's an oxytocin generator if there ever was one. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. This was a wonderful time had by all.
Always is, bro.
tallytales.net. We love everybody that's listening to this as Bella did. So we'll tell a lot of Bella stories in the future. All right, stay tuned. Love y'all. Peace.